I think Tank has more experience. That's what I think, but you know, in boxing, you never know.
The height, the length, the speed, but Tank has that power. He has that neutralizer. He has the experience. He's been tested. He's been proven. The safe bet would be Tank, but you know, you cannot count Ryan out as well.
I got you for it. Tank is going to beat you in condition. I mean, Tank is a monster. I mean, what can I say?
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then he starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and man, he be cracking them dudes.
For skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Nobody. I feel like my skills is way better than like Jordan. Like if I'm on my game, well, I take it probably hand in hand. But skill-wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody. Like talking about top to bottom list.
That's the brilliance of Gervonta Davis, a fighter who studies you like a machine, then strikes with ruthless precision. He doesn't rush, he dissects. When Tank flips that switch, he's not just boxing, he's breaking you down piece by piece.
The first few rounds, he throws very few punches.
He's just measuring. He's a computer, man.
Yep.
He's just getting the data on you, faking you, taking pictures of everything you do, and then like round 3, round 4, he starts to fucking just, and he's slipping, pop, pop, pop.
He's got special power too. His power's special.
And he's mean too as well,
Oh
man.
yeah, mean is a big part of it, isn't it?
I think having that dog.
Clarissa said it best. Tank Davis is built different. You don't disrespect a man like that and expect him to stay quiet. This fight with Jake isn't just about money, it's about pride. Tank's coming to remind everyone why fear and respect still belong to his name.
I don't care what nobody say. Gervonta got skills out this world. He's a scary dude. He's scary. Ain't no way he say he supposed to come back and get Shakur, Devin, Ryan, Teofimo, whoop all these. He like, I'm about to retire after I fight Jake. No, I don't let nobody talk about me like that. The way that Shakur disrespect him, the way that Devin talked to him, the way that Ryan, he already knocked out Ryan. The way that these dudes be talking, he supposed to come back and get them. He the man, right? He where everybody say is the best. I ain't leaving no food on the table. When I'm done boxing, I'm whooping all these girls. They all getting beat. You said you can beat me? Oh, okay, I'm gonna figure out what.
Mike Perry can question Gervonta Davis's love for the game all he wants. But the truth is, Tank never left the sport. He just leveled up. This isn't about weight. This is about IQ, timing, and power that cracks through physics. Jake Paul may bring size, but Davis brings precision. And when precision meets aggression, size stops mattering real quick. Perry's words might sound bold, but once the bell rings, that 100-pound advantage won't protect Jake from Tank's fire.
Jake is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, I mean, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, you know, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100.
Stephen A. Smith knows what he's talking about. Gervonta Davis isn't a puncher you can afford to test your chin against. He's that rare mix of speed, accuracy, and bad intentions. When Tank lands, it's not just a shot, it's a statement. Smith's analysis shows what separates Davis from the pack. He's not out there to outpoint you, he's out there to end you. And Jake Paul, for all his gym talk, has never faced that kind of calculated destruction before.
I look at Haney and I'm like this. You don't want no parts of Gervonta Davis. You want to stay away from that brother. Because Haney gets hit too much. And you can't do that against Tank Davis. You can't do it. That's going to be a problem. Haney, I look at Haney's boxing skills. I look at what his father, Bill Haney, did in training him for that Lomachenko fight. I think he did an exceptional job. But my point is, Lomachenko isn't a power puncher, and he was the smaller guy. And he stung Haney a few times. If that's Tank, that's a different problem.
When Floyd Mayweather says he's feeling more confident about Gervonta Davis, that's not casual praise. That's legacy speaking. Floyd built Tank to handle pressure, to silence doubters, to dominate when it matters most. He knows what greatness looks like because he's been it. The fact that even Floyd's leaning back toward Tank shows this fight's energy is shifting. Jake Paul's showmanship won't faze Davis. He's been molded under the spotlight, raised in the fire, and now he's ready to remind the world who the real face of boxing is.
Put a certain way and you do it your way and it mess up, I don't want to clean it up. Because that was your cup, not mine.
Listen, I was feeling that Jake Paul was going to knock out Tank. This press conference made me feel a little bit more confident about Tank. I'm no cap.
He done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business.
Even Aries Spears, with all his humor, couldn't ignore what's obvious. Gervonta Davis is the real deal. Size difference or not, Vegas knows where the smart money goes. When the odds favor the smaller man, that's respect earned through fear. Spears jokes about it being a circus, but deep down he knows this circus ends with Jake Paul flat on the mat. Tank doesn't play with opponents, he dismantles them. Third round knockout? That prediction doesn't sound too crazy when you've seen what Davis does once he smells blood.
Well, the next fight that's coming up is Tank Davis versus Jake Paul.
Oh, this is such a circus.
Yeah. Well, look, according to BetOnline.ag, Gervonta Davis is favored -240, Jake Paul's +190. So more than twice the odds for Davis. Davis is a lot smaller, but he's a real serious fighter.
I'm predicting a third round knockout.
Ooh. Third round knockout.
He's out of there. Listen, I don't know what's the bigger joke, that fight or tight.
Classic Teddy Atlas. Always sharp, always sarcastic, but hidden in the joke is the truth. Gervonta Davis is giving up massive size, yet nobody's doubting his skill. Atlas knows Tank doesn't need a ladder because his timing and explosiveness already bridge that gap. Jake Paul's size advantage will only make his fall look harder when Tank's counters start landing. Teddy might have been joking, but deep down, even he respects what Tank brings. Discipline, danger, and that dog mentality that can't be taught.
I'm gonna say the only thing I can say, and you put it right there. Everything off of what we saw with the face-off for the promotion. The first thing I think about, you talked about the zeros in the contract, you talked about all those things, right? They should also have like the size of the ring, the size of the glove, all that stuff, particulars should be in the contract. But I would probably look for one thing that is not the common thing to have in a contract if I'm Tank. A ladder. A ladder, can I get a ladder? Somebody.
When Max Kellerman hesitates to label this matchup a circus, that says something. Because deep down, he knows Gervonta Davis brings real legitimacy wherever he goes. This isn't a YouTube stunt, it's a showcase of skill versus hype. Tank represents everything pure about boxing, technique, timing, and terrifying composure, while Jake Paul represents everything flashy about the new generation. But that's the beauty of it. Kellerman understands that the second Davis steps between those ropes, all the social media noise fades. What's left is a fight. One man who trained his whole life versus one who bought himself a stage. And when the bell rings, only the real one remains.
I'm not gonna comment on it.
You gotta pick one.
I don't have to pick one.
He doesn't, Ryan, doesn't he gotta pick one?
I said the same thing, I'm not commenting on it.
Okay, why? Do you think it's a circus or do you respect it?
That's Gervonta Davis defining himself in one line, the whole package. And he's not wrong. There are punchers, there are movers, and then there's Tank. A perfect storm of every element boxing demands. He reads his opponents like a veteran, moves like a ghost, and hits like a hammer. What separates him isn't just ability, it's confidence rooted in dominance. Every time he speaks, you feel a man who's already visualized victory before the first punch even lands. Jake Paul can talk about size, conditioning, and YouTube reach, but he doesn't have that completeness Tank talks about. Because the truth is, Davis isn't trying to prove he's complete. He's trying to prove Jake doesn't even belong in the same equation.
Some fighters, they good at what they do. Like, they master at what they do, but they not complete fighters. Some of them have speed, some of them have just power, some of them just have footwork, but they don't have the whole thing. I believe I have the whole package. I mean, that's what makes me a good
Lamont Roach Sr. speaks from the perspective of a man who understands timing and opportunity. And right now, all timing points toward Gervonta Davis. While others are waiting for the right fight, Davis is creating moments that define eras. This Jake Paul bout might sound strange on paper, but it's the kind of event that cements legacy when it ends the way most expect. With Tank standing tall over another name who thought they could play boxing. Roach knows real fighters don't wait, they adapt, and that's what Davis has done his entire career. Turned critics into believers by showing up and showing out. Every swing from Jake will be answered by skill, precision, and that signature Tank power that ends stories, not starts them.
Like, that's the fight we won, and I think that's the fight the fans want, you know, such after a great fight like that. Everybody's looking forward to the second bout, but unfortunately, things ain't lining up as planned, so we just can't sit around and wait. We gotta move forward and continue our career. You know, we're not in a position just to see stagnated and wait for something like that to happen. That fight's gonna be there. You know, hopefully it happens soon. But
Jeff Mayweather voices what everyone's thinking. The size difference is absurd. Jake Paul walking in at 200 plus against a man who spent his career around 135 looks like a mismatch on paper. But that's the beauty of Gervonta Davis. He's made a career out of defying logic. Power doesn't scale with size, precision, timing, and instinct do. When Tank lands, it's not about weight, it's about willpower. Jake might be bigger, but he's slower, less fluid, and nowhere near as ring smart. Jeff may not understand why the fight is happening, but when it's over, the answer will be clear. It's happening because Tank wanted to show the world that skills, not scales, decide who's king.
It's kind of weird because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank, and I mean, but with it being a exhibition, it makes sense. It's fine. He got a big name that he's going to be fighting, but I mean, it really makes no sense because he's gonna be weighing over 200 and some pounds. Tank's gonna probably be weighing maybe at the most 147, 150. So I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
When Sean Porter, a two-time world champion known for grit and pressure, says Gervonta Davis stops Jake Paul, that prediction carries weight. Porter's been in there with killers. He knows what real power and timing look like. His breakdown cuts straight to the truth. Jake Paul may survive the first few rounds off size and stubbornness, but once Davis adjusts, it's checkmate. That's Tank's gift. He downloads opponents mid-fight, reads patterns, and strikes like a sniper. Jake's strength is physical. Tank's strength is cerebral and explosive. And when the smaller man starts walking down the bigger one, the audience will witness the difference between fighting and boxing. Porter respects Jake's hustle, but he knows legacy doesn't come from Instagram followers. It comes from nights like this. When a pound-for-pound legend makes a statement that echoes across eras.
I've always been a fan of Jake because I think that what Jake tries to do for the sport of boxing, I think people don't realize the importance of him being able to promote for himself and not being reliant on the promoters who I believe has held the sport hostage. The only critique I've ever given Jake, I just want Jake to fight boxers. Like Nate Diaz, we know his reputation. We know the man can fight. We know in the octagon he could be something special, but we know you breathe on him.
At this point, it's crystal clear. Gervonta Tank Davis isn't just in the best shape of his life, he's in the sharpest mindset of his career. Every expert, from Clarissa Shields to Bernard Hopkins, can feel it. That cold, focused energy that only true fighters carry before they make history. Jake Paul's got the fame, the weight, and the spotlight, but Tank's got something far more dangerous. That street-born instinct, that pure fight IQ that money can't buy. You can see it in his movement, in his silence, in the way he's carrying himself. There's no panic, no overconfidence, just purpose. This fight isn't Tank trying to prove he belongs. It's Jake proving he survives. And when that bell rings, all the talking stops and only the truth will speak. Power, precision, and pedigree. Fans might debate size and strength, But real ones know timing beats power, skill beats size, and hunger beats hype. So the question isn't if Gervonta Davis wins, it's how brutally he reminds the world who the real star of boxing is. Now it's your turn. Who you got on fight night? Drop your prediction below and let's see who's really riding with Tank Nation.